leave, help him with his energy with him. Because you can't be impatient with Rio. Not even a little bit. The more impatient you get, the more scared he gets. Okay, so when I do it so it's like a game. And the game always starts with asking him to back away and putting him on the circle. Then it's asking him to walk his front legs out to the circle path. And then the circle. This way, you're standing here. You just shoot him out onto the circle. Like, I'd rather them have a full understanding of every step to it. So he already thought about it though, but because you weren't consistently, I mean, you were just demonstrating to me, but because you weren't consistently telling him, he's like, oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to do anything. But his head came up, his chest flexed, so he came alive to say, I'm supposed to do, and then you didn't.
Would I do that while I'm ordering them?
No, you would say and do, But don't stop. See, because now he's like, oh, maybe you didn't mean it.
Oh, I let go. To me, it's like once they start moving, you let go.
Yeah, so see, he heard you say it twice that didn't mean anything, so he tuned you out this time. Now he's listening again. So it takes at least one step. Good. Now you can pause on one step. Now he stayed thinking about it. See how? So we could do an up-close lesson on this for sure. See how his chest stayed kind of. That is his way of saying, I'm thinking about what you want. And the message is sitting right here. It's still sitting there because that's why his chest is still flexed. So go ahead and ask him for that next step. And then watch how that will get deeper. This piece right here will get deeper. When he's truly going to do it, that'll get deeper, and then the next thing that'll get activated is his knee. So until that gets deeper, he's not going past, the message hasn't moved. Now he's completely not thinking about this piece even got soft. There, now he's thinking about it again. Now watch it get deeper. Now the knee's about to get back activated. There. So his chest has not gotten the message at all. Now it's starting to get there. It's at the top. And I went soft again. So you don't get tighter. You don't get tighter on the rope. You actually get longer on the rope. Okay, so you actually want to be, so his chest just flexed now. So I'm going to just, and I start low. So I don't have to tell his nose to come to me. He could be looking way over there. His body could be sitting over there. I don't care. So I'm standing here. I'm staring at his chest because I want to watch when the message gets there. So as the message gets there, you tell me when you see the message get there. Nope, still in his throat. Still right about here. Still not there. So now I'm going to help support him with it a little bit. Yeah, it jumped right from here to here. So it didn't hit that chest muscle at all. Now it's in this, it's right here. It's stupid for me to stop, but. Oh, he'll get it. It's no different than them biting each other. There, now it's in his chest. Now it's in his knee. Still in his chest, I'm going to get the other knee to move. See, it's in his chest. There. Good. Let him know that none of that was personal. That's the important part. So if you have to give him a little nip, as long as you let him know that it wasn't personal, I'm just trying to teach you something, then they don't really hold a grudge against you. So now it's at the top there, now it's at the bottom of that chest, so it should go into the knee now. I'm just going to give him a little more attention. So he kind of wakes up on it a little bit here. Okay, now he should get it just fine. Let him finish it. So, what the hardest part to teach is, for the human, is the body intention. Because now you see, I can have the intention of doing this. He's going, oh, wait, can I move before you do that? So it's teaching you to have the intention without, so sometimes you have to bite so you see what the intention looks like. It comes behind the intention. So he knows what the intention looks like now. But he shouldn't need me to tell him. Boy. And then again, it's not, right? Not personal. So I know it's tough. Good, you're right, you're right. I know it's tough for you to say, I gotta bite you a little bit. And I think that seems, you don't want to be mean to him. You're not being mean to him. You're saying, like, as if the boss, you're saying, get away from my hay. And then all Charm has to do after one time of giving him a lift shoulder is give him that look, and he's like, all right, because now he knows what will come after the intention. So we just have to, sometimes you have to show him what the next, it's kind of like when you children so many times, and then they finally get punished. So, you know why he came with you? Yes, you drew him with you. So he didn't do anything wrong, and you didn't punish him for it. Good. Good. Now go up and let him know that and now he's licking and chewing. So now, that's your up-close teaching phase. So now, from there, because we're still wanting to do it as a lunging game, or a circling game, you want to make sure that you can stay right here and back him away from you. So instead of coming with him. So now you have to be able to project all that intention energy from here. And no matter how many steps away you want him to go. So now you have to try to allow the rope to when you do it too. So let's say he does commit to your understanding of, I'm going to make you back. And him saying, okay, yes, I'm going to go away. The trick is you have to make sure your hand stays loose enough that he can take the line. And where if, like in my case, I always have really rough hands, where your rough hands don't even snag the rope and cause a different feel. Okay, because then if you feel even the snag, they're going to be like, oh, that's as far as I'm supposed to go. So you want to make sure that your hands are very giving of the rope and let them take the rope with them. Same with them, once they're on the circle, if you want them to make the circle bigger, your hands have to give them the rope. And it's not this, because that, right. You just open your hand, and they can take it. It's a smooth enough rope, they can take it. Right, but we're going to teach him how to move. We'll teach him the out cue. And that's all, it's insecurity. He doesn't know for sure he's doing it right. Because he understands being on the rail. He doesn't understand being in a closed circle with no rail to explain it to him. So that's your job, to explain it to him on the rope. Good boy. Yep, so now, I'm sure I've explained this already, but horses don't see over there or over there. So you point like you want to go like that. So that will cause him to look this way, his neck will go this way, then his shoulders will follow. That'll bring him to the circle. If you point that way, it'll bring him to you. Okay. Yep. Yep. Focuses on where the neck meets the shoulder. Yep, leave him alone. Allow him to just take that rope. Don't follow him, stay where you are. If he looks at you, you're just going to raise your hand in the same direction that he's traveling to just say, yes, thank you for asking, but yes, I'd like you to keep going. Obviously, if he stops to do that, we can allow him to do that. Get yourself at his hip. Try to stay at his rib cage. I know we're moving. Just try to stay at his. Stay at his. No, I don't. I don't chase them from behind until I'm asking them to yield. Oh, so for ground driving? Oh, he'll do it now. Oh, so it's okay that now all you're gonna turn this way and you're gonna say he's stepping on the rope, but you're just gonna raise that hand again and say, no, thank you for asking, but keep going. Yep, yep. Just give him a little bump to say wrong answer. Yep. And then allow him to take the rope. So what happened is the pressure was off, the pressure of your belly button, like a giant bullhorn. So when you're following him, it keeps him going. When you don't follow him, it makes him stop behind you. So if you press behind you, he's likely to stop again. All you're going to do is when he does do that, you're just going to turn and say, hey, but I keep going. It's just a very, yeah. Huh? Yeah, try it here too. Yeah. Yeah, so try to lower your other hand, try to lower your hands, yeah. As neutral as you can be, the best you can be for him. So see if you can pass it around behind you. And if he stops, you're just gonna, just don't follow him, don't follow him. And if he stops, you're just gonna, no, don't follow him. Now turn, say, keep going. Yep, don't chase him, don't make him wrong, he just asked. All he did was ask you. So anytime they ask you a question, you want to kind of be like, You quickly grabbed the tail of the rope like you were going to chase him off. So there was a lot of intention in your body. Yep, there you go. Yep, yep. Again, just turn and say, yep, there you go. See how quickly he goes, oh, my bad. So that means your energy's too high. It's not just politely answering his question, it's saying you're wrong. You don't want to make him wrong for asking. He's a good horse to do that. So don't chase him. See if he'll go around behind you. He'll get it. Don't chase him. Don't chase him. You chase him with your eyes. Yep, good. Yep, there you go. So now when he comes across the front of you, you're going to, with your right hand, you're going to bump towards your belly button the opposite side, look at his tail, see if you can get him to yield while he's out there. Yep, yep. And then how you can improve on that is you try to keep him out on the rail, right? But you got him to stop when you wanted him to, and I know that that's been a challenge, so we're not going to make him wrong for how he stopped. Good boy. So ideally, his front feet should stay on the path. His hind feet should come off the path on the outside of the circle. Yep. So when you, yeah, he will. Yeah, because the way I say it is very. So yours was right. So it was a little smoother. Smoothness kind of offered that continue-on feeling, like rolling through a stop, as opposed to. So it started off by backing him up 7. So see how he's now asking because it doesn't make as much sense. Yep, I would. Good. Good morning, how are you? Good. I want to learn Spanish. Not because I want to listen to what you're saying, but because I want to be able to do that. Yeah. Yep. Yep. See how your intention made that big step? That's an intended step. Now you're pulling him. You're pulling him. There you go. Energy on your shoulder where the neck meets the shoulder. Yep, tell him to go. Good. All he did was ask. That hesitation was him asking, are you sure you want me to leave? I didn't really hear you clearly. But he wasn't being back by not leaving. He was just not sure that's what you said. See how he was understanding a little bit better that you did it that way as opposed to trying to send him off from a comfortable little visit with you. This way it's the job that he knows now. Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. Right, right. So see how you're starting to kind of lead him around in the circle? You're like preemptively saying you're going to keep going. So instead, just put your hand down and question if he asks. A little attention out of your body too. Your body got stiff. I know you were talking to me and you were trying to focus on him, but at the same time, stiffer, and then gradually started to almost like try to pull him around on the circle. He asks, you answer. So makes them want to ask questions more. Yep, so now just say, yep, that's good. Oh, yep, don't yield him. So you're yielding and saying go. So just looking at his tail and saying go with your hand. So go ahead and tell him just now so he can just kind of be right. Good. Yes. So you were going like this. So he did what you actually were thinking you wanted him to do. If he had stopped, he wouldn't have done anything either. or he would have been going like which, well, actually, it is a sideways, technically. No, I don't think crossing over a lot would be good for him. Right. Okay, so I'll start with a backup and say leave it. Back. Good. Yeah, because I'm not telling him anything different. So when he asked me, because I came alive to talk to me, when he asked me, ooh, what did that mean? There's nothing wrong with that. My body came alive. So after he passes his pile of poop, I'm going to keep him out on the circle and tell him to stop. Tell his hindquarters to move out while he's out there. Tell him not to come in. So when we start, we put their hind feet on the circle and ask their front feet to walk out onto the circle. When we stop, we ask their front feet to stay on the circle and their hind feet to go onto the outside of the circle. So try to keep them out there. So this way, it also helps establish, not that you need at this point with him to establish I'm the of us, it helps establish with horses that aren't sure that now I'm going to come to you and I'm going to love you. And they're like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for telling me I did a good job. Thank you. Right? So now, to tell him to stay there, I'm just going to say, you stay there and I'm going to back away from you. Okay? So I helped him be not confused following me because that's back up. And tell him to go the other way. And say, yes, I am talking. Nope, 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 wrong answer. Then say, wait, try again. Try again. Nope, nope, wrong answer. Yes. Good. That I probably don't need to do. You just have like a suggestion. like if you're talking to, you know, there's, you want them to have to come escape. So he stalled out. Maybe he would get to stop. It wasn't really a question that was like, do you want to tell me to keep going? It wasn't asking me a question there, but he was suggesting he might stop. So yeah, I'd like you to keep going. But if you can pick up on the subtle asks, then you don't have to ever read to him, and he doesn't have to ever be offended. So I'm going to tell him to stay out there, yield his tail, back out of my space, and stay there. Now he's asking, did I do good? Did I do good? Can I come see you? So this time I'm going to say, yes, you can come see me. He's 100% sure, so he's asking the whole time. That's why his ears are good. And usually my body will tell him that's far enough. Like I deliberately say that's far enough. But in his case, he's asking so much, didn't even have to say, yeah, that's enough. I just, when I stood up, he said, all right, yeah, I knew it. I knew I wasn't, because as he asked every step in my thing. So by asking me as much as he did, he was asking permission. So I wasn't going to say, that's enough. You know, where horses, when they come in, they're like, all right, I'm coming in. You go, that's far enough. Go forward. You have to adjust to every horse. So, why does that look wrong? Okay, so you and I saw you when you were doing it because you were trying to do the ring finger thing. Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. So scissors. Yeah. Well, you came in the other way. So you kind of did it right. You tied it right, just you left the tail going towards his eye. And see, they love this kind of stuff, because I just had a conversation with him. He didn't just come out here and run around. You know what I mean? When you do that, you're just like, well, that was worth coming out of my paddock for. And even if it meant a little exercise, like we didn't exercise him, but even if it meant to exercise, it was still a conversation. Yeah, he probably recognizes the benefit to his joints to move around. I kind of understood that. Yeah. But I also knew what you were saying. Does that help to actually know? Either or. Yeah, either or. I mean, he's definitely engaged. And another thing you can do is to try to, if like say you find yourself, which I don't think you're as aware of, so it's going to be hard to just even bring that self-awareness, when you find yourself kind of walking around with them instead, either try to focus on making that happen behind you so that you know you're not supposed to move, or even start like standing on the mounting block. I used to use a hula hoop, but people are getting tangled up in the hula hoop. Because they were to teach people to stand still. I would make X's on the ground. I try everything just to teach people to stand still, because the more you move, the more you're communicating. You know, so, and the more you do with the rope, the more you're communicating. So like, if, I don't know if you could see, as he was going around me, my fingers changing my grip on the rope so I can hand it to my other hand. But that's the only thing he felt on the rope at all, was just my fingers moving, not a flip of the rope. Or when anytime you make any kind of energy to the rope, the idea would be to eventually be able to take that off and have him just go around you, and you just stand like this, and he'll get it, you know. My horses, I've taught them maybe too close of a circle, but I can tell him, you know, an out cue. So, you know, eventually he'll be able to do that at Liberty. We did, I think it was Pax at Liberty for a very brief second. And how you start that, if you wanted to start that in like a bigger space, is as he's going around, when he starts asking questions, bring him in for, and then be like, no, but keep going. It's a very delicate balance between drawing him in and saying, keep going. With Pax, that's the stage we were at. And he did pretty good. Okay. So see how when you started, he started assuming we're going to do something. He started leaning that way. Like, oh, I guess we're going to go somewhere. So it's nice when you realize how much you can tell them to help them not make mistakes. Good boy. See, you only had to bite him twice for him to know it. You didn't have to bite him at all, I don't think. Yep. Good. Good. And I'm glad you gave him the time, because he did answer you, and then he got distracted, but he did answer you with, I know what you just said, and gave him time to act on it. Now, if you were focusing on snappy departures and things like that, of course, then you would have, you know, chased after him just enough so he could improve his departure, but you're not. I don't think you care about his departures. It would just bring his emotions up. Yeah, I always say the leading hand is the hand that's attached to their nose. Well, it's nice of you to at least do it in the same area. So you just flip the rope to try to make it longer. No, I know, but when you went to make it, it was just automatic. You flipped the rope in your hand. Yeah. It's just little things that you do that you don't realize you're doing. I'm not criticizing, I'm just making you aware of what you're saying to him that he's likely to respond to. Just what you just did. What you just did, you just drew it back through your hand with the other hand. Or you can tell him to go out more on the circle. And if that were to be the case, then you would just take where you have maybe, 10 to 12 inches of rope that you can lob. Like I say, you lob it at their ribs or lob it at their girth to tell them out, to push them with your energy. You want to put all your intention towards their girth area, which will cause them to push their shoulder and their rib cage out. So now you have to yep. And then another thing that you can do when you get comfortable with doing this at the flat walk, you can then ask him to either gait or trot or whatever whatever the next thing you would ask him to do, and then work on transitioning him down back to a calmer gait. There you go, that's better. Yep, back and back out one step so that he knows that he came in a little bit more than you would like, and leave him there. Good, just go neutral. Yep. not a pull. That's just, your point is just direction. It's not actually to pull on him. Yep, yep, as soon as he tips his nose, then just kind of give him the impression that he got the right answer. Yep, now he got it. Good, now let him do it. Good. He tells you that he gets the right answer, you just have to, and you're not being impatient with him, but you have to just be, patient and trusting that he's actually answered you properly. Again, the snappy departures are something that you can work on later. Just having him understand it now is all you need. So now if you wanted to make him take up more line, which he's doing already on his own, you can drive him out at the girth and like where the shoulder meets the girth, I guess, pretty much, yeah, where the shoulder meets the girth. You want to be definitely in the girth area to drive them out further onto the circle. But he's not doing really bad. If he was in close now, he did that to himself? Yep. Nope. No, I knew he was going to ask you because he bumped himself. So he interpreted his own bump as you asking him a question. Yeah, good, because he was starting to ask. He actually was starting to ask out there, and then he was getting ready to turn in and ask. Yep, so he's asking again out there. So yep, good. So it's nice he asks a lot with a straight face, which is nice because he's less likely to turn in if you answer his question while he's asking. So he's asking now. Yes, yep, yep. Yeah. Yep. Good. So see how when he tipped his nose, he said, oh, okay, I'm going to go that way. As soon as he tells you with his nose, that's when you just want to trust that he's listening to you. Yep. Good, because he was asking, and ironically, he was asking with the outside ear. Which might be because he prefers to ask with that outside eye. He's doing a lot of asking with the outside ear, but he's not coming in. So he might more likely turn in on this direction. He might more likely be to turn in on this direction because I think he's going to want to talk to you with the outside eye. So he's going to more likely try to present you with the outside eye to ask his questions because his outside ear is doing all the asking. Change of direction?
Yeah, changing direction without the stop.
Yep.
So that was,
So you would back up straight from his shoulder, you would change hands, you would give a direction with the other hand as soon as you saw the opposite eye. You would give energy on that shoulder. As soon as you see this opposite eye, you can guide the opposite shoulder. Yep. I'm not reeling them in, you're just going to back up. Yep, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I always feel guilty taking them out of their turnout. Make it like, not letting them have it or even feeling like I have to take them from it. That's probably my biggest guilt thing that I get. And then finally I had one client say, yeah, but they love playing with you. You honestly think being out in that field is a bigger deal to them than your opportunity to play with you? And I was like, all right, that's one way to look at it. It hasn't fully sunk in as being better, but yep, you almost didn't get that eye. That's why he came all the way in. I used to feel guilty going and getting him out of the field. but he was like, you think they wouldn't want to just be out in that field more than wanting to come in and play with you? So it sort of soothes it a little bit, but I still feel guilty taken away from, especially when they're at the far end of the field and they've maybe finally found that really great patch of grass, and now I'm saying, come get me. So you're stiff again and your hands out to the side. Yeah, there you go. The more stiff you are, the more you're saying something. Now see, when you relax, what did he do? He did something very, very specific as soon as you relax. And he did it till just about 2 seconds ago. Like a quarter of a circle. Did you see what he did? As soon as you relaxed, he licked and chewed, and he stayed licking and chewing until he was almost to me. So as soon as you started relaxing the door, he started licking and chewing, and he licked and chewed all the way till he was right here. Because you changed your body, you took the tension out of your body, so he was like, oh, okay. And it gave him an opportunity to relax. So he chose to stop. Okay. Yeah, he's not, it's not. Yeah, the sore one is going to be better on the outside. Um, yeah, no. Yeah, that's, hi. I just wanted to, so he kind of stopped. And we got to talk, so it's no big deal. But if he does that with you, don't be like, all right, I guess it's cool. You know, because then he's kind of taking over the leadership of the game, and, you know, but you start talking, so it's okay. It's past saying, no, you shouldn't stop on your own. You're pulling on it. Yeah? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but you're keeping your hand open now. You know, there's certain things I'm noticing that you're staying almost habitually focused on, so it's just a matter of turning things into habit. But no, trust me, I get it. That's why I don't like get mad when it's like I told you that already. Because people do have habits. You raise your hand again forward to say we're going to do something else, and then raise your energy to whatever it is that he understands. And then keep nagging at him till he does it, so he knows what he's being nagged about. I usually take maybe the little tail of the rope and use it in my other hand as a twirler, so like a little fan, so he knows that I'm asking for something more. Because he's trying to understand that you are asking for more, but he's not 100% sure. That's why if you just keep after him till he does it, he'll get the answer. But if you give up, he will never get the answer. Good. And perfect is when you want to say, nope, you're not doing it. Good. And then just go as neutral as you can to let him know that was the right answer. If you can use the twirl of the, hey, you're like my horse, like, I don't want to step in that. So what did start to happen was you started to turn into a little bit of a chase. So it stopped being a neutral position. You started turning it into a come on, do it. So that's where you're wanting to happen without a clear intention of what you wanted to have happen. So he was just feeling you get. So that's why as he was getting faster in his walk, it was more of an anxiety walk, was an understanding of what you were asking for. So that's why he was like, you know, he wasn't looking back at you, but his energy was like, why are you chasing? Right? But it wasn't clear as to what you were asking for.
No,
I knew it sounded like that, I'm sorry.
no, I'm just curious. I didn't want to get it, you kind of circle too, and then you said that, smooth road, but I didn't have enough road to communicate and just.
Allow it to come back out. So he just asked, because I dropped the rope a little bit hard, he asked for a second there, wait, was I not supposed to leave? So that's when I just kissed a second time. But now he understands it. Now he understands what I want. So I can ask him to go back to the walk, and now he'll pick it up, because I asked. But I'm not going to keep asking him, I just wanted to show you he did understand it now. Yeah. Oh, I like him a lot. He's enjoying, he's enjoying. He's not out here going, you know.
Well, I guess the only other thing is, I know, it's 5 years or whatever, but somebody is 2 months, but you were getting on the head down thing. You said that they would do it on the circle.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I remember it. So.
Yeah. No, that's easy. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. Good. Head down. Good. Head down. Good. 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 Head down. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. Good. Good. Head down. Head down. Good. I just wanted to remind you what that was. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Good. 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 Head down. Good. Head down. Head down. Head down. Nope. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. Yep, you're right. Head down. Here you go. Head down. Head down. Head down. Keep trying. Good. Keep going though. You're gonna get it. Head down. Head down. Keep going. Keep going. Head down. Go. Head down. Good. Good. You're right. You're right. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. You're right. You're getting it. Head down. Good. Head down. Try. Good. Head down. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. Head down. Good. Down. Good. Head down. Good. Head down. Good. Head down. Good. There you go. Good. Head down. Head down. Good. Head down. Head down. Good. Good. Head down. Head down. Good. So he actually knows the words because he waited for the words. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Try. Try. You're not trying. it took him that long, because then he'll remember what the release was. Good. So he'll try harder this time. Head down. Head down. I like if it takes him a long time, because then the release meant more to him.